I was afraid of being the last because I thought maybe the lunch would be rice and biryani and then everybody would be asleep by now. But I'll try to be as entertaining as I can. At the same time, I want to keep it very simple, very casual, very real, because that's the only thing I can be myself, and I hope that you can come out with something out of my mini story that you can relate to. I'll start with discovering, and I'll start with somebody who looks asleep. Let's see. Nobody looks asleep, but let's start. I'll start with you, with the glasses. Who are you? It will be a few seconds. Who are you? Yeah, please. Who are you? Aisha. What do you do? Pharmacist. Why do you do it? Aisha said she's a pharmacist, and I asked her why. Why does she do it?
Because it combines many things I know I like, but
Which are what?
microbiology,
Okay.
care, patient care, chemistry.
And this is what you see yourself doing. This is what you enjoy?
Yes.
Okay, great. I just wanted, please sit down. I wanted to ask Aisha, because I think this question we ask ourselves throughout our lives. We discover ourselves. And why do we do it? Why do we travel? Why do we get to know people? Why do we read? Why do we go to movies? Why are we always trying to discover more and more? There's one joint word for all of that, which is curiosity. As humans, as creatures, as beings, we're curious. From when we were kids, you'll always notice that the cupboards that are closed, that's where the kid goes. He throws all his toys, but he wants to open the cupboard because he's curious. He wants to learn. And that's what we're doing. And I remember at a very young age, I always used to think, especially when we were young, we always say, always and alwayses and nevers and nevers and nevers. I will never do this. Wallah, I will never do that. I will always be there for you. Blah, 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 right? All of these, so many always and nevers, only by time we realize how much we contradict ourselves with all these always and never. So the more we grow up, the more we understand that what we thought we were, we're really in for a surprise because a lot of things change. And these are main chapters of our life. And still, mashallah, there's a lot, inshallah, to go for a lot of chapters, but childhood. Childhood is a very important development stage of every child. They say the first 6 years of your life is what defines your character. And then, so in kindergarten, if you look at a child, you can already tell if they're good with their hands, with their motor skills, with numbers, with languages. You can start to identify these things. Then you have school. Are you sitting in the back? Are you sitting in the front? Are you a nerd? Are you the popular person? It's all of these things that are defining certain characters. College is, of course, another big step, and usually the most fun step for a lot of people. You really start to experience your adult life, your personality, how you speak to people, how you present yourself, and stand and talk. I think all of that and interaction, especially with other nationalities and all of that. Then you have work. So all of this is a mix of life, of little experiments that you start to know more about yourself. Yeah. And then discovering ourselves, or yourself, or myself. The first question is, what are you really good at? I mean really good at. Not those people you see on X Factor, American Idol, coming with 1000% confidence. The judges are so excited and then they sound like a goat. And I'm thinking, really? After all of that excitement and background and showing their childhood and everything, comes in shirt, tie, and chains, and I'm like, okay, this guy's going to rock it. He's too confident to be bad. And then you hear them sing and you think, where did they get all that false confidence? And why aren't they realistic with what they're good at? And of course, Simon is usually the best person who says what I'm thinking. So that's a very important question. What am I actually good at? Not just what I want to be and what I love. And a lot of people ask me, what do you want to do? Oh, I'm going to do this because I love it. I love it so much. I love it. I'm going to be. I'm like, sure, but are you good at it? When 1,000 people are telling you you're not, why are you thinking you are? So you have to be realistic with what you want. And big questions. What will my family say? What will the community think? I think a lot of the people that are out there today, the entrepreneurs in the UAE and the people who have made it, a lot of people shut them down. Just a lot. And if we look around the world, from Thomas to Bill Gates to Richard, all of these guys, I mean, seriously, a lot of them, everybody kept shooting them down. But they believed in a certain thing that they were very interested in, very passionate about, and they went for it, although a lot of people went against. If I go to a majlis today, and I think, I'd love to do a website where, people write, say for example, Twitter wasn't even there. All right, I'll do something with 140 characters and just post. And if I'm sitting in a majlis saying that, what will people say? Ya akhi, such a stupid idea. Show 140 characters. Let's zubti. You know? And you hear all these negative comments. Why are you bothering yourself? It's such a silly idea. Nobody's going to make it. But if everybody thought that way, we'd never have any kind of achievements. If Thomas Edison didn't think of a light bulb or fail in a lot of his experiments, he'd never get that. So these are questions which I think all of us really ask ourselves. And a lot of it is pressure. The other day, I was at a workshop and I asked the people, and I said, you who's asleep, what are you good at? And they're usually not asleep, but I just bothered them that way. So the guy goes, quiet, completely shy. Everybody around him, he's a great photographer, he's a great photographer. And I told him, why aren't you telling me you're a great photographer? Why are we shy to accept any kind of compliment? And he literally stayed quiet. Everybody knows what he's good at except him. He's like, it's just a hobby, just click and it's my mobile. And then I'm like, why are you doing that? Even if you're collecting stamps, be proud of collecting stamps. The guy told me, I love sleeping. I said, great, love sleeping. Maybe you'll create a blanket that makes me sleep 2 extra hours every night. I don't know, but do what you like. Don't think it's silly, don't think it's funny, but if you really like that field, be proud of it and have that confidence. Don't be shy to accept compliments, which we do, I think, extra in the Arab region. Whenever we compliment someone, he's like, no. I'm like, no, accept it. Say thank you. Yes, I'm really good at this and I'm working on it. I want to be better. So these questions, I think, are important for us to ask. We get a lot of pressure also from family when we want to grow up and we want to do some things specific, especially if it's something different. We have a lot of hesitation, and not only in the Arab region, but across the world. They want you to be a lawyer, an engineer, a scientist, or a doctor, correct? Something like that. If you do that, you get a sticker of a star on your head, everybody loves you, Habibi, hug you, okay, graduation, and everybody's happy. But fine, those are great fields. They are great fields, but if you actually like it, what's the point of running after something that you're not even interested in? Just so that people are happy? It's the same in everything. In marriage, what you're going to marry somebody only your family approves of and you don't even like, and then you're living with that person. Are you going to go for a job just because your family likes that job? You'll not do good, and you're living with it every day for 8 to 10 hours every day. So these things, we have to respect a lot of people's opinions, but at the same time, we have to be true to ourselves. I'll give you my as quick as I can, my story and what you should avoid from my story. So hopefully you can, this is my life. This is kind of where I am and where I've been. And not the whole slide is there, but I'll continue it. So when I was a kid, I loved Captain Majid. If you know who Captain Majid is, the cartoon character, yeah? I loved Captain Majid. It was in Japanese, of course, but completely dubbed in Arabic. So even if I see him in Japan, like Captain Majid, they're like, no, not Captain Majid. This is Captain Tsubasa or whatever his name is. So I loved football. That's what I do every day after school. And I love Captain Majid. I buy every video game. I buy everything to do. I know how to play it in Japanese, literally. I know this is pass, this is shoot. Everything to do with Captain Majid. It was very clear for me at a very young age that I loved football. I'm very passionate about it. But of course, you go to your family at that time, especially back then, even football was watched in not a very professional state as it is maybe now. And you tell them, and you get a slipper on your head. So you tell them I want to be a footballer, no way it's going to happen. They're like, okay, all the street kids go there, it's not a good future, very short, blah, 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 blah. All this negative comments about it. Do I blame them? No, not at all. I understand where they were coming from. But that's what I was very passionate about. But they didn't get it, and it wasn't really working out. So, in the last year of my high school, they said, Anas, why don't you go and study in the States? There are great scholarships. You're really good in chemistry, math, and all of these things. Why don't you get a scholarship? So I said, sure, yeah, I'll apply. Why not? My cousin is in Boston. I'll apply for Boston. I apply. They say, okay, look, you have to be a chemical engineer. Do I like chemistry? I'm good at it. I get good grades. But do I like it? No. But I said, you know what? Let me get the scholarship. I just want to go to the States. So I got the scholarship. I go there. The first year, I'm put in this college called College of General Studies. So literally every student in this college doesn't know what they want to do. We're just sitting there taking a little of everything so people understand. So I realized it wasn't me. It was the Korean, the Asian, the European, the Arab. Everybody was in this dilemma. They don't know what they want to study. And they want to try a bit of, I know I had to do chemical engineering, but it was an experience to see that. So I go to chemical, I think 1-2 semesters, and I hate my life. And I called the scholarship and I said, look, I need to change. This is too much. I like chemistry, but this is beyond what I like. So I need something else. So they said, okay, look, maximum we give you mechanical engineering. So I do mechanical engineering. And it's for an oil company, oil and gas. So I remember last year, by the way, this is on a career level, right? On my love for football, what I was doing was I still playing it as a hobby. So I'm playing for the varsity team of the college. I play semi-professionally in the US, trying to do as much as I can, but all as a hobby, because it's not really what I need to do, and that's what I'm studying is completely different. So last year, the guys go, guys, look, there's the Saudi team we have to beat, okay? So all the UAE kids, we make an 11 versus 11. We'll drive in this small polo car, 11 people inside that car, and then we're going to go 40 minutes to Oxford, and we're going to play against the Saudi team because we need to beat them. I said, sure. Of course, we never say no to football. And girls, I know because you love football, just convert the word football to whatever, design or anything. So we go on 40 minutes, we reach there, and this is this beautiful football field, like literally closed, I would say 6 to 8 times as big as this hall. Indoor, very high, beautiful artificial grass. So you wear your normal football shoes, not the flat ones, but with the studs. And it was indoors, air conditioned. And I'm thinking, man, every time I go back to Dubai, we never have places to play, and we have humid weather, and it's hot, and nobody wants to play. So how come we don't have that model there? Is it a genius idea? No. But is it something we really need and I love? Yes. So I said, look, as soon as I graduate, that's the first thing I'm going to approach. I'm going to approach an organization that builds these things, and I want to build a football field, because I'm definite people are dying for it. So graduate, apply for it in 2004-ish, and then the process was just tough. I mean, getting the approval was so easy because it was a unique idea, still not applied. Now there are a lot of places, but at the time, quick approval. But then go get all these approvals. It took us from 2004 till 2009 in January to open. I heard so many no's in my life. I'm completely immune to it, I think, by now. But do you take no as a sign to stop? Everybody says, of course, if it's a no, it's a failure. For me, a failure is when somebody actually gives up, which accepts the no. If you're really realistic with your goal and you know that that's what you want to do, if you hear no, that's very natural. You'll hear it a lot. And I remember we got rejected 3 times from the government organization that really we needed the approval. So we'd go after finishing everything. The full feasibility study is ready, and we revised it so many times. We have the funding, we have the location, everything is ready. And this was, I think, 2008. And we go and give our approval to this guy. He's like, no, atla. Imagine you go with your team. I had 3 more UAE nationals with me, and we're so excited. And we go inside, and everything was really good. The guy didn't give us literally 30 seconds. And this is the guy we need. He didn't give us 30 seconds. And he said, out. No. And he was known for no. I think they call him Mr. No or something. Literally. So the guys were so hurt, of course, because they were hyped and excited. We leave, and the guys say, what do you want to do? You know what, let's wait a month, maybe he'll sleep better, by next month he'll be in a better mood, so we'll go again. We got rejected 3 times by that guy. 3. Every time trying to pitch it in a different way. The 4th time, alhamdulillah, in short, it worked. The 4th time. During this 4 times, you know how many people came to me and say, Anas, where is your كرامتك يعني, where is your pride? Where is it? I mean, no, don't go. He said, no, خلاص, God doesn't want it to happen. Don't go. مو مكتوب يا ريا, مو نصيب. And that's what we hear a lot. If he said no, at least you tried. I'm like, no, man. He can say no all he wants. I still want this to happen. So alhamdulillah, after fourth trial, it actually worked out. So that was on my mini football hobby thing, converting it to something that I like. But is it my full-time thing? No. My normal career, which I'm trying to let you avoid now, is I went to the oil and gas for 3 years, and then properties for 3 years, and then philanthropy for nearly 3 years. And then I got an invite, or some board member knocked on my door and said, Anas, we are really pushing for the league, of the UAE league, to really take it to the next level. You're a guy who's strong in football, you know a lot about football, you're passionate, blah, blah, blah. So we want you to come as chief of operations. For me, that was the only, I was happy by the way in philanthropy, but that was the only thing that would have pulled me out. They talk about law of attraction and all of that. It can be realistically looked at. I mean, because you're really good at something, everybody will come and attract that from you. They want that from you. You're really good at talking, you'll get invitations to talk. You're really good at playing football, you'll get invitations to come out, تعال في تقسيمة ما أدري شو. Correct? So this is my point. They came and took me, and then I came. Now today, my day job is football with the league, and I have a hadaf on the side. So it's all football, which I'm sure all the ladies love. So this is my life in a nutshell. Starting from a Captain Majid concept, running a huge circle, and coming back to what I really love and truly think. Now what about you? Is it, look, the road to success is never easy. If it was easy, everybody would be successful. Everybody. To say that, yeah, I made it, and by the way, after you supposedly make it or you achieved something, that doesn't mean that it becomes easier anymore. After we opened the hadaf in one place, we had to close 4 fields in another because somebody complained on the radio. We lost over 1.2 million in that branch only, from our own money, not from anybody. So my point is, it never gets easier. But if it's what you love to do, you're going to stick by it. You won't feel the hours that you're spending because you actually enjoy it. So the question is to you now. What do you think of yourself? Is it a straight path? Sometimes it is. Is it crooked and speed bumps and mountains and all? Yes, it can be. Of course it can be. But for every person, it's a completely different path. Do I regret my years all across? No, I think it made me who I am today. I wouldn't know otherwise because I cannot rewind. But I'm happy with my cycle. It came back to something that I love. But what I'm trying to convey here is sometimes you can shortcut all of that. If you really know what I want to be, okay, I want to be in the media, I'm going to study media and I'm going to go work in one of the broadcasters, and then I'm going to become really independent and competent, and I'll open my business. You see, that's a very streamlined approach, and maybe that's what you can do. Before I go also into this, let me ask Gassab, which supermarket do you go to? Because you're lazy, so it's convenient, yeah? So Gassab said he goes to the one under his building because it's very close. Because I think the point of the unique word that everybody, you have to do something unique so you can be successful, you have to be unique. The word is so overused now, you don't necessarily have to be unique. You have to have a unique selling point or something that edges you across the market. So for example, I said supermarket, you know why? Because there are so many of them. Thousands of them in the UAE. But why do we go one instead of, for example, I'll go to Spinneys because I know if I go to the Jam'iyyah, the Vimto one day will be here, next day will be 1 kilometer away. But if I go to Spinneys, it's more organized, so I enjoy it, it's more cleaner, I feel happy. I don't see 100 people that I know. I get my things quickly and I leave. So it's more expensive, but they have that unique selling point. My point is, you don't have to do so many unique things or think you have to be unique to do something. Do something even in a certain field that you like, but have that edge point. That why am I doing this? Correct? And please avoid the copy-paste factor. I mean, you look at in today's business, somebody opens a grocery store, baqala, and then 10 open next to it. Completely copy-paste. And then you go to another one, the same thing. I mean, it's important to be true to yourself. If you're copy-pasting, that means you're not being true to yourself. If you are, you'll always have some creativity around it. So when you discover yourself, I think also humans, I don't like this item which is onions, but we're levels, like layers of onions, right? So the core should be similar. The core, maybe we have it since we're young. But how many times do you meet a friend
And then, you're so happy, you tell your family, yeah, this friend's just great, I love him. And after 6 months, he or she, they do something, and you're like, I could never have expected that person to do that thing. Because you reach another layer. The first 1 to 2 layers are always easy. You meet people today, I know you, I see a layer or 2 layers, but humans are much more complex than that. And there are a lot of layers beyond that. And the point is, and that's what we're doing to ourselves. We're discovering in ourselves, correct? We go layer by layer to see what we actually are good at and what we want to do. And I think discovering that puts you towards your niche more and more. Before I leave, I wanted to leave you with this. What would you do if you were not afraid? I want you to think about that. I think the answer will be there. Thank you.